I do not want to make this video, but I'm being forced to. This response is coming from a place of love and respect. I'm only playing this game still to this day because of QuickyBaby. However, the QB is using his platform to deliver hot garbage about a recourse for the DBV-152 assembly shop going down on the EU servers. If you are a QuickyBaby fan like me, this one is going to hurt. On one of QuickyBaby's streams, he shared his unique ideas. QuickyBaby said, "Think of all the money that Wargaming have made from all 6 assembly shop tanks. They've got about 30 million, about 25, $30 million of currency out of the game. They should invest 10% of that money, $3 million, in creating an I'm sorry skin to renew the players' faith in the system." The man was not capping. QB is as serious as a heart attack. He thinks that Wargaming should spend millions on giving back to the whales. Worst of all, on a dumb skin. Huh? As my preteen cousin says, let's not and say we didn't. Hey QB, how about they spend the money on improving their servers so they can handle mass surges of players better and help normal day-to-day stability? QB's response was going to be, I would sooner die than see 1 cent I've spent on this game not go back to me. I'll admit, I paraphrased that last part. What he actually said was, spotty connection? Sounds like a skill issue. No matter how obviously wrong QuickyBaby is, we both know he ain't backing down. QB said, to renew the players' faith in the system. Bruh, whales are going to keep making it rain on Wargaming so long as the game is fun. Not a single whale is leaving the game over this. To make whales spend more, spend that money on improving maps, tank balance, server stability, and incentives to keep low-skill players playing so they get farmed by the whales. We aren't even to the worst part yet. QB says, their whales are the ones who actually spend the big bucks, and they should be treated with immense respect. Classic elitist QB. Get this, he thinks the 1% should be treated even better, give them even more favoritism. What are you talking about, QB? World of Tanks is a whales kingdom. Every single match of World of Tanks, the whales improve their tank by 10% by buying a premium consumable at a high price. I won't go into the never-ending list of how pay-to-win World of Tanks is right now, but QB knows all this. He knows that World of Tanks is dying a slow death, not because of the treatment of the 1%, but its treatment towards the average and new player. I'm not surprised these are his hot takes. This is coming from the lad who lies on a stream that he is a free-to-play account. How many premium tanks have you got on that not-so-free-to-play account? I'm sure QB would say, all of them. Saying an account is free-to-play when you devote more hours to it than a full-time job is the same as calling a free sample a meal after waiting in line for hours to get enough of them. And no, we're not to the worst part yet. QB starts to speak about the worst thing that could happen to him. What if he missed out on obtaining one of the 50,000 DBVs with a skin? Not the tank, but the skin. Probably just say, that's it. Never again. I'm not suggesting you all should do that. But that would probably be my mentality. I feel like once I miss out on one thing through no fault of my own, then there's no guarantee it won't happen again in the future. Then what's the point? Because the system isn't fair. QB, you are wrong. You would not quit the game because you missed out on obtaining a skin. QB is not walking away from his $200,000 a year job of producing World of Tanks content over a skin. By his logic, no new players will ever stick with the game. They never had an opportunity to buy any of the assembly shop tanks. It's not their fault. Or how about this? Newbies get their cheekies clapped by the BZ-176, then find out it ain't ever being sold again. That's not fair. The QB goes on to be outraged over the compensation that was given. Wargaming did give compensation, but what was the problem? I'll quote the QB. But all this does is just makes life for a free-to-play player better. But the free-to-play players, they aren't the ones who've been hard done by. It's freaking whales who've been hard done by. Wargaming needs to be very careful about pissing off the whales because it's the whales who spend thousands of dollars each year on this game and they need to be treated with respect. Absolute nonsense. No whale is leaving World of Tanks over a bad looking skin. No whale is going to stop spending money because they didn't get a number. The same number of tanks was still sold, 100,000 people still got the tank on EU. The worst of it all, boys. QB says, I have a lot of whales in my chat. I would consider myself a whale as well. But my money goes to charity instead of going to wargaming. But your money goes to wargaming, not to charity. QB, second up to the whales in his chat. Please keep donating to me. Watch as I do your bidding. QB knows his whale donors are often Watt whales. QB is a whale because he spends enough time on tanks each week to be 2 jobs. Giving money to charity does not make you a whale in World of Tanks. QB gives money to charity for 2 reasons. Number 1, he is a good guy. Number 2, because of the tax write-off. Every dollar QB donates, he claims as tax relief, which is a good thing. But he's going to pay that money anyways, thanks to taxes. At the end of the day, QB is out $0. Giving money to charity does not make you a whale in World of Tanks. Whales who spend thousands each year in World of Tanks do not get to claim their purchases as a tax write-off. I'd buy so many more boxies if I could. Thanks for watching. From one newbie to another, stay victorious. Through the power of terrible editing, we're back. We got an update to the story. Turns out, Wargaming is going to release a new skin. Give everybody the number 76779 for sorry. You know, it's impressive. The ultimate thought leader in QuickyBaby. He says something, and boy, does it happen pretty quick. He's gotten his way many times over the year. Is this a good thing we're getting it? I don't know. By his estimate, it's going to cost millions of dollars. So, good for players to get the skin, but we're spending millions of dollars on the skin for the wealthiest players in the player base. Okay. Well, more loot boxes are coming, everybody. Wargaming even said in their cells, we're in the final stages of producing the style. Those turn out to be more technically complex than expected. Means expensive. I wonder what else QuickyBaby could get changed if you would just throw a hissy fit about it. I don't know. Well, that's all for today. Roll out, tankers.